is the clitoris in this sexual position? Hi, I'm Alex Allman of Revolutionary Sex, and today I'm going to be talking to you about great sex positions for orgasms. You know, a lot of women who are otherwise very orgasmic, they can have orgasms with vibrators or during masturbation, manual stimulation, or from oral sex, have problems having orgasms during intercourse. And the key to resolving this is becoming more masterful at controlling the way your bodies are positioned during intercourse. And every couple is different, and so the mechanics of the way you guys get together, the size of the man's penis, where the clitoris is located along the woman's body, these things are extremely different in different individuals. So every woman is different. She's going to have different turn-ons, favorite positions that are particularly psychologically or emotionally a turn-on for her. And every man is going to have different positions that are psychologically or emotionally a bigger turn-on for him. So I can't just say, here's the position, this is what's going to work. And that wouldn't be any fun anyway, if you always had to do the same thing in order to drive to orgasm. In fact, what I'm going to give you is something much, much more powerful, which is a way to really understand how to work through sexual positions so that you can both get maximum pleasure and enjoyment out of it. Also, to give you the tools to create some variety in that. Nobody wants to do the same thing all the time, and in fact, the same thing is going to work every time. There are basically two aspects. The sexual position that you guys find yourself in has got to do more than just push her buttons and create the physical sensations that she's looking for, the rhythm that she's looking for. That's half the battle. But the other half is that it's got to be a position in which she feels sexy and comfortable and emotionally turned on. Orgasm doesn't actually happen in the vagina, it doesn't happen in the clitoris, it doesn't happen in the G-spot. Orgasm is an event that occurs in the brain when it gets the stimulation from those areas. And in fact, plenty of women have had orgasms with no stimulation on their genitals at all. So as a woman, you want to be in a position that makes you feel sexy, relaxed, turned on. You feel like you look good. You feel bonded and close to your man. Now, it is equally important that the sexual position that you're in is a turn on for the man as it is for the woman, and not just because it's fair, but because emotions and emotional states are highly, highly contagious. And if you're in a sex position where the man doesn't feel powerful, turned on, and aroused, that's going to actually infect your partner. So as a man, when you're in a sex position where you're feeling like it's hot, you're turned on, where you can feel your physical arousal, where you think she looks sexy, you feel sexy, everything about it is a turn on for you, and you're wrapped up in that moment of passion. Because when you're in that emotional state, she can feel that. That's actually going to translate to her turn on, and that is a much, much more important aspect of having great sex and giving a woman powerful orgasms than rhythm or which spots you're touching. Okay, so all of that may sound a little bit abstract. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. In every sex position that you find yourselves in, there's a couple of factors that you're going to want to evaluate. The first one, from a physical point of view, is the clitoris. So for example, when you're in face-to-face positions, the clitoris is very often sandwiched between your pubic bones, where there's a lot of distance between your bodies. You may or may not be squeezing the clitoris between those bones. Alternatively, when you're in a position where the man is coming from behind, often the contact with the clitoris is actually coming from the scrotum of the testicles, and there's kind of this rhythmic bouncing of the testicles against the clitoris, and most women report that that feels pretty good. The next consideration is the angle of penetration. And this is one of those things that's really easy and fun to work with on the fly. When you're thrusting as a man, you can vary the angle at which you're penetrating her vagina really easily by either scooting up or scooting down. And as you move yourself and you change the angle at which you're entering her, you're going to hit different spots in her vagina. And for women, tilt your pelvis up and down until you can find a position that really feels great for you. Another consideration that makes some sex positions more desirable than others is the ability to have access with your hands. When a woman is on top, A man usually has great access to her breasts with both hands. And for other women, they really need that direct and controlled stimulation on the clitoris. For example, when a woman is lying on her back on the bed and the man is standing, he has access with his thumb to her clitoris. And here's what for me is one of the most important considerations, which is positions that give you more or less skin-to-skin contact, like missionary position when you're lying down flat on top of your lover and you have maximum skin-to-skin contact. And this creates a sense of very deep intimacy and connection. Now, you can take these 6 considerations and you can apply them to any sex position that you find yourself in. And basically, whether the man is on the top, the woman is on the top, or a man is taking his woman from behind, all of these things can be evaluated and come into play. Really becomes not so much about the position that you're in, but how clever you are, how masterful you are at manipulating the position you're in once you're there to find a perfect place of stimulation physically and stimulation emotionally and turn on. Please leave some comments below. Let me know what your favorite position is. Let me know if you have any questions about this. Let me know if this was a good video for you, if it was useful. If you're a couple that takes sex seriously, if you believe that passion is an important aspect in your life, then please click subscribe and join me here on this mission to help everyone enjoy better sex. This is Alex Allman with Revolutionary Sex. Thanks very much for listening.